We're
Thank
doing
you,
it.
Asher, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Doug Cundiff here, and as you can see, we have our special guest, John Scevola, returning, and we're going to dive into the P90 Plus. Maybe just a few housekeeping items, and first of all, some gratitude. So there's been a lot of information shared by Luigi, Anna, Asher, myself, many others on how we want to remain consistent with not asking the medical advice questions. I want to thank everyone. My observations on the posts that are out there that certainly seems to have diminished quite a bit. I would like to ask the same holds true for these calls as well. Certainly, we have guest practitioners or guest business owners in the health and wellness space, and we get excited when information is shared, and we want to ask, well, can it help this or can it help that? I want to continue to encourage everyone that while this information is geared towards educating all of us, whether it's on a product like it is today, the P90 Plus, or they are strategies to approach practitioners, or we're hearing from practitioners themselves. Now, it's one thing if someone wants to engage a practitioner personally for services, but if we could refrain and continue to refrain from asking the practitioners or questions on these calls or in the community chats, uh, medical advice, if we could refrain from that, we're not offering any medical advice. We are clearly here just offering education and guidelines on how to approach it and how to do your own research. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there. John, thanks again for being on today's call. Uh, as he and I continue to communicate and chat back and forth, John's just super excited. He goes, I keep seeing these questions. I have more information to share. And he already has his next session lined up for us as well. And we're going to confirm the date for that. But today, I'm going to turn it over to John. John, as you may have heard, depending on when you dialed in, he's even going to share a few slides. But John, I'll turn it over to you if you want to set the stage for today on what to expect, to dive into it. And then any questions that anyone has, we have a chat section, but if you can hit the more button, you'll see Q&A. If you could put Q&A, if you could put questions there that we want to ask John later on, we'll kind of look through those. I'll try to answer a few as we go along, or other members can help answer those questions as well. But then we'll save those questions in some time to the end. John, take it away, bud.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, everyone. Uh, the company I was with previously to Life, they would greet everybody, hello and good more earnings. So good more earnings for everybody here. And
Love it.
we're all earning health. We're all earning happiness. We're earning her freedom, wealth, all that stuff. So good more earnings. And I wanted to stress something too, that I am not a doctor. I know people call me Dr. John, and that's fine, but I'm not a doctor. My wife is a doctor, and some of you met her last week. And I told you once you get to meet her, you won't want to talk to me anymore, and that's happening now. But she and I have been in the quantum healing, energy, holistic modality space for over 30 years. And I have been really specialized in technologies especially over the last 10 years. And I've trained over 5,000 practitioners in advanced quantum energy healing devices. I've written 4 books. And I'm always looking to push the envelope on what these things can do. And today's call is entitled the P90 Plus Game Changer. Okay. So I'm not going to be talking about making sure you go low and slow, right? Or feel your ankles, make sure they're only warm and not hot, and make sure you have the P90 Plus on the right side up, and not upside down. Well, folks, you all have to read the manuals. I get so many calls, even from people that I've sponsored, because I'm an independent distributor, just like many of you are. And they're asking me questions that are right in the manual. And so you have to read the manual and really understand what's in there. And then watch a lot of the videos. There's some great practitioner videos out there. Ethan Leeds particularly is fantastic in explaining how the P90 Plus helps with our blood and the blood flow and all that. But I'm going to share some game-changing ideas, probably about 4 today. Okay, so you all need to be sitting down because these things, and a couple of them I'm going to demonstrate right here on the call. If you're not sitting down, you're going to fall over and you're going to hurt yourself. So I'm going to make sure everybody's sitting down. And so let's talk a little bit about what's going on with this technology. Now, what many people in the world are discovering, and even many of our distributors don't know, is we are the #1 consumer wellness tech company in the world, okay? And a former company I was with, everywhere they would go, they would hold up their finger, #1, we're #1, we're #1. And they did invent about 5.5 years ago, the first handheld Terahertz device. This thing right here, $4,500, okay? But they still are claiming they're #1, but they're not #1 anymore. That's actually a lie because we are #1. And I'm going to talk about this in our next call more about the Vitality Wand, but that makes all the other devices on the market obsolete. Our P90 Plus, there's nothing that comes anywhere near it for the price and what it does, and I'm going to talk about why that is. And but all of our products are #1 in the world. They're first in the world. P90 Plus is first in the world as a multi-functional platform with all the things we're going to talk about today. We're #1 in the world with the Shake and massager, first in the world with the Galaxy goggles, first in the world with the first frequency wand with PEMF, pulsed electromagnetic frequencies, and terahertz. And we are #1. We have the #1 products. We have many, many, many patents. And when you have a patent, that means you're #1 in the world about something. It may not work, but you're still the #1 company in the world. Now, our products work. This call is not a testimonial call. You talk to your sponsor, look around, and you're going to see thousands and thousands of testimonials on our products. And they're pouring in every day. And why is that? Is because of the technology is so unique. Yesterday, one of the wonderful gals that I had sponsored, she sent me a video from a competitor claiming that they were going to compare a traditional PMF product to our P90 Plus. And they're going, here, we're touching this and this and that, and there's no coils and this and that, it doesn't work, there's no PMF. Well, folks, I told her, I said, actually this week I'm going to be producing some videos on debunking these kind of people that what they're saying. But I started laughing at the analogy. It's like somebody comes up to you and they open up the hood of your car and they go, John, this car has 350 horsepower, but I don't see any horses in here. Right? John, I'm opening up this P90 Plus and I don't see any horses in here. Well, they don't know what they're looking for. They don't know what they're looking at. They wish they did. There's so many companies out there trying to reverse engineer what we have. And because they're seeing the tremendous growth, this tremendous interest, the tremendous results that people are getting on these things. And I actually don't want, I'm actually happy that Life is not transparent about some of their trade secrets about how these things work. They have patents, but they don't tell you everything in that patent, those utility patents. And they don't tell you some of the little things that are going on there and the whatever. And I actually don't want them to ever do that because all of a sudden we're going to have knockoffs all over the place. All right. And these guys are pulling their hair out trying to copy what we have, and they can't. And but let me share a couple things here about this. In the Life literature, they talk about that our products produce a bioresonance waves. Okay, probably nobody knows what that means. Okay, and I've seen a number of distributors out there doing videos, and they're calling what comes out of our Vitality Wand and the P90 Plus. They call it different things, which is really not accurate. So let's just talk a little bit about the literature. These are not things that you need to necessarily have memorized and spew out to people. You want to keep it simple. Hey, put your feet on this thing and experience it, okay? But it's fun to kind of start knowing really what's going on. And literally, I discovered something about the P90 Plus about a week ago. It just blew my mind. I said, oh my God, I can't wait for this call to show this to people. And I'm going to demonstrate this to you, how you can demonstrate the PEMF coming out of the device. It's not this, okay? It's a different device, but it only costs $15 on Amazon. So let me pull up my slideshow real quick, because I'm from Italy, just like Luigi, and I can go on all once I stay on track with I gotta be careful what I say about Luigi, because there he is. All right, so let me pull up my slideshow real quick here. Okay, do you see the P90 Plus?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Game changer. So there's a phrase out there called biomagnetic field. Okay. And I saw another young woman doing a video on the Vitality wand, and she was using that. She said that the Life wand puts out biomagnetic field. It does not. Okay. Biomagnetic field, and you can research this. You can screenshot this page later when we put out the recordings or whatever. But a biomagnetic field is the electromagnetic field that's produced by things inside your body. Okay. So your heart produces a biomagnetic field. It actually extends beyond your body. And your brain, your stomach, all these different things, they actually produce a biomagnetic field. Okay. Now, what we have with the Life products are what Life calls bioresonance energy waves. Okay. And that's kind of a grouping for the PEMF, the Terahertz, and something that the P90 Plus puts out, which is called alternary current. I don't think a lot of people know that, but that's a very, very vital part of what the P90 Plus puts out. And the PEMF is pulsing at a certain frequency that resonates with the frequencies in our body and the grounding frequencies that we talk about. And I don't have time right now, but I could spend like 15, 20 minutes just talking about why the pulsing is so important. But it matches up with the way the biomagnetic fields are in our body on these different organs. They pulse. Okay. And when you're inputting into the body these bioresonance energy waves, you don't want them to be just straight in, because the body will eventually start ignoring that. And the pulsing allows the body to optimize itself and gain those frequency nutrients. But it's the pulsing that's very valuable. But it's also mimicking other things in nature, our heartbeat, lots of different pulsing things in nature. The terahertz, and I put gap in there because, again, everybody says terahertz. They don't realize terahertz is a wide range in electromagnetic band, going all the way down to microwaves and all the way up to far infrared X-rays, and so forth. But so if you say terahertz, that doesn't mean that works for you like ours does. It's the sweet spot right in the middle of the terahertz wave. That's what it's called terahertz gap. You can look that up. It's an actual phrase the scientists use. The terahertz gap is what we're talking about here. So if you say, yeah, we have terahertz, really, if you want to be correct about it, you want to say terahertz gap. And those are flowing into the body. PEMF can go through almost anything. And I'm going to demonstrate that in a few moments. I'm going to show you how that's actually real. It'll go through everything. It'll go through skin, of course, your body, plastic, bricks, mortar, wood. It just goes right through that. And PEMF will actually even go through some metals. It just goes right through it. Okay. Terahertz is fascinating to a lot of scientists and industries these days, because they discovered about 50 years ago that it's non-ionizing, so it doesn't hurt the human body, but it goes through everything except metal and water. So a lot of scanners in airports are using terahertz rather than X-rays right now. And a lot of different industries, even the dentistry industry is starting to use terahertz because it doesn't hurt people and it's non-ionizing, doesn't hurt them, but it'll go through everything. But when it hits water, it just virtually stops. Okay. But what we discovered though is it doesn't just stop and end. It resonates with the water, okay, and restructures the water into a linear fashion, all the molecules, and so that they're absorbed by the cells in our body way faster than ordinary, all the nutrients. But even more than that, though, water can hold vibrational frequency information, okay? And so that water, whether you charge water, whether you're using a Vitality wand, or you're even just pointing a wand at yourself, or just putting your feet on the P90, those terahertz waves are interacting with the water. And we're mostly water, we're 78% water. And it immediately interacts with that water, restructuring it, even within your body, and energizes it, okay, with the terahertz frequencies, vibrational information, and the PEMF information, the grounding frequencies, and all that stuff. And what's even more amazing is how fast it spreads, okay? And I've seen this when I vitalized water, just a small glass of water with a Vitality wand in 30 seconds to a minute. It's all restructured and imprinted with these frequencies. You pour that into a big jug of water or even in a bathtub and boom, the whole bathtub is filled with energized, vitalized water, okay? And that's happening in your body. So I was thinking about the analogy last night is this whole process is like a Christmas tree, okay? We all have Christmas trees, maybe not so many in Florida, but most people have Christmas trees. And no, I'm sure they have plenty in there. But when you plug in the Christmas tree, it doesn't start at the bottom, couple lights, couple more lights, right? What happens? You plug it in, boom, the Christmas tree is lit up, right? And that's what happens when that terahertz gets in with the water and energizes it, boom, it just spreads the water all through your whole body. That's particularly why it's so important to drink vitalized water before you use any of the products, because it immediately energizes your whole body. I have many customers and clients who have, that's all they do is just drink energized water. And they've had amazing results with that. And I've been dealing with these products, in particular frequency products, for the last 5 years. And I had over 14,000 distributors in my group, and I've seen a lot of stuff. My wife and I, we energize and vitalize our water every day, several times a day for 4.5 years now. Okay. But that's a whole nother call to really get into that. But what I'm really wanting to make the point is this stuff spreads through your body, boom, immediately. It's like flicking a switch on the wall or the Christmas tree, right? Now, what's very interesting about this, though, is let's say you turn on your Christmas tree light and there's a couple lights that are out, okay? In the old days, the whole Christmas tree would be out, right? But the newer technology is maybe a couple lights are out, little bulbs, but pretty much most of everything's going on. Well, it's the same thing with our body. When these bioresonance energy waves are coming into our body and lighting up you, all your cells are lighting up and all that they can be, okay? But some of them are a little dimmer. Their voltage is lower, and some are even faulty. Now, what's fascinating and wonderful about these bioresonance energy waves is not only does it ground you and balance you to the energy waves of the earth, and yes, it does recharge you like a battery, all that stuff, but it's more than that. It's empowering the body to self-heal, okay? And those little bulbs that are a little dim, as you consistently use the Olilite products, they get brighter and brighter and rejuvenate themselves. Or if they're shot, they're replaced. Okay, your cells can be replaced by stem cell activation. All of this is going on. It's a miraculous thing using these products. That's why we see so many hundreds of so many different experiences and results because of what's going on here. Now, that's all talk. Let me show you something here. That's really magical. Okay, so I'm going to come out of my screenshot, and I got to set this up though because I'm going to demonstrate to you. I have this working here. It's my P90 plus, right? See it? Okay. Now, okay, remember you heard this here first. I don't hear anything from Ricky Brandino about this, but Ricky, he's one of my best friends. He sponsored me, and I had heard about this thing called a Spangler energy stick from Captain Northrop, and then I told Ricky about it, and he demonstrated this on the convention stage recently in Anaheim. But I'm going to show you something how to use this today that nobody, I'm almost sure that almost nobody in Oldie Life knows what I'm about to show you, but it's fantastic. All right. So here we have this energy stick. Now, if you're into being a distributor and you want to demonstrate to people, you have to have this product because even just to start, to hold one end and hold the other end, and it showed people that we're energy beings. Okay, there's energy flowing through our body, and it turns on. It's really fun to take a prospect and say, here, hold my hand. And then with their other hand, you hold their hand, and it just flows through both of you and lights that up. Everybody's jaw drops out because they don't realize that's a reality. That we are batteries and we're running this. Okay, now here's what's interesting though, is when you hold it in the middle, because when I'm doing this, I'm making a circuit. Okay, and the energy is flowing to my body, is flowing through this. Hold it over your P90 here, and nothing's happening. Okay, so I'm going to turn the P90 on. Okay, now it's on, but I haven't activated the settings yet, so nothing here. Right now, now we turn it on. Turn it on. No settings yet. Levels. Okay, still nothing. Now here's where the cool part is. I'm going to turn this up to say level 3. Okay. Now remember, my feet are not on this thing. When you put your feet on here, it activates the alternating current that flows through your body. Okay. But right now, there's no alternating current going here. Okay. But by turning this on 3, there's PMF coming out of his body right now, up to about here. You don't believe me? Doug, I see you're doubtful of me.
I don't know, John. Let's see.
Look at this. Can you see it lighting up?
Sure can.
Okay. And what that's showing, this will go up to about 6 inches, 7. 6. This is, by the way, my wife always tells me, do not say the word prove. She said, use the word demonstrate. So this demonstrates that this is putting out PMF. Okay. And it's the field is lighting this up right there. Okay, I see some hearts. Well, don't hurt your finger when I show you this next part. All right. This, now check this piece. This is a solid piece of wood. Okay. I'm going to put this on top of my P90 Plus. All right. Check this out. What that's demonstrating is the device is putting PMF through the wood and lighting this up. Okay. So anybody says to you, hey, it doesn't have PMF. Well, you're looking for horses, buddy. All right. And this is putting out PMF. Now, so here's another interesting thing about this, though. I started thinking about this and I realized if this is putting out PMF and terahertz out about here, right? Would that charge water? It does. If I put a glass of water on here for a minute, and I have equipment I have to test it. I have these universal aura scanners I got from India. that can detect the energy flowing out, and the glass of water charged up just from putting it on here. But however, which I think that's amazing, right? You could literally put a piece of glass on here and it charges up the water. I'm not recommending that you do that though. So why I say that is because it's fraught with danger, right? Because if you have to be really super careful, because if you hit it and drip it, you could ruin your $1,500 P90 Plus device, right? Now it has waterproofing, but it could cause a shock of some sort or whatever. But it will energize the water, which is the further demonstration to me that it's putting out what it's doing. Okay, but you all just saw that. Now it's on videotape. Okay, this thing is pulsing PEMF out up to about 6 inches and even through a piece of wood. Now, what you could do with that, is that good so far? Better be. That's amazing stuff. If you don't think that's good, send all your customers to me. So let me. Okay. So how would you use that if you're demonstrating this to somebody? Okay, same thing. Show them, hey, we're energy beings, all right? And put your P90 Plus down there, turn it on, but don't put any settings in yet. Hey, nothing's happening. Turn the settings on. You're gonna look. That's showing you it's pulsing PEMF and Terahertz right out of here, 5-6 inches above. These are all I call the Steve Spangler's energy sticks on Amazon. They're like $14-15, right? I bought a couple of them because it is glass, so if they're broken, you'd be very sad. Now, but then further from that is before they put their feet on the P90 Plus, you hold one end, and you hold it. Let's say this is your leg, but 2, 3, 4 inches above it, nothing's going to happen, right? Put your settings on, have them put their feet on there, okay? You put this over the leg, and this is going to light up about 2, 3, 4 inches above your arm, maybe your leg, all right? What that's showing you now, because what's happening when you put your feet on the P90 Plus, that activates the alternating current, which is creating a current through your body, okay? And in the information I read earlier, it's talked about alternating current will put out a magnetic field. Okay. Now, what's interesting is I just realized we, in effect, become the coil. Everybody's going, your device doesn't have a coil. Well, it's because I'm the coil, right? And there's a different way of phrasing that. You don't want to say I'm the coil, because coil is copper coil, wires wrapped around a coil and put inside a beamer bed or a PEMF bed or whatever it is. But all that's doing is creating the PEMF field that's floating out. Well, this device uses some different new technology in there. It's putting out the PEMF field in terahertz, right? But it also has this alternating current thing, which is what they call ultra low frequency. It's been tested safe, but it flows through your body and produces a field. Now if that field is getting deep down at a quantum level into your whole body, because it's flowing up through all of the water in your body, in your blood. It's changing the ionization of the way the blood and it freeing up the blood. And we've seen the video of after 20 minutes how the blood's flowing, but that's part of the magnetic factors, positive, negative of the blood, and how this affects that. Now, but what's going on here? This is multitasking. This is not press a button, you get a little buzz, right? This is amazing technology. Nobody has anything like this in the world, because you put it as soon as you turn it on and put the settings on here, it's pulsing PEMF out. We can demonstrate that. You put your feet on there, and it creates a circuit. Now that's what this will test. You put that on your leg, and it's a light up. That's that's responding to that alternating current that's flowing through your body. Okay. But this couple, 2 or 3, 4 inches from your body is showing the field. Okay. And what's going on here is you put your feet on there, it activates all of these technologies going into your body. It's affecting your blood. It's affecting, there's 7,000 nerve endings in the bottom of your feet. Okay. And you look up, if you look up acupuncture points in the feet, look that up. I mean, they're all there. I forgot to put that slide here. I'll show you that in a moment. Okay. But you got all these nerve endings, and then you have all this traditional Chinese medicine stuff with all these different nerve endings in the bottom of your feet that are connected to all these different organs in your body. Now everybody believes in traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture and all that. I do, because I've seen so many things with myself, my wife, and other doctors and whatever. But not everybody believes in that. But even if you don't, there's still 7,000 physical nerves that are in your feet that are being affected by the PEMF and the currents and so forth, right? And then, like I said, we have lots of videos coming out and already out talking about all the different things that happen when these things get into your body and clearing up. The one video recently, the doctor showed how his patients were affected in their brain, just be sitting on to the positive. He was shocked almost how fast. It's the what we call the Christmas tree effect. Okay, it's like, now if you use that, you got to pay me 25 cents every time you use that now. but it is, you put your feet on it, it's the Christmas tree effect. Boom, you light up, and if it's not lit up, the bulb is going to be replaced, or it's going to be eventually, whatever. And we're talking about detoxification, all kinds of stuff. All right, now, if that wasn't good enough, let me move on to really quickly to the next step, which is the attachments to this device. So again, I'm going to share my screen real quick. The RevitaLux, right? Nicknamed the claw, the rake, the PMF wand, lots of words. I don't think any of us have found a really good one yet, but most of us talk about it as the claw. I'm going to share some stuff about this thing that nobody knows about. All right. And these are wow factor stuff. And so first of all, in all the settings, all the different things that the RevitaLux attachment does, PMF is coming out in all the settings. Even if you only have it on heat or on vibration, you're still getting PMF. So it's not a separate mode. PMF is coming out in all modes. And PMF will go through anything, pretty much, except water, right? So you could be wanding yourself over some clothes, your shirt, etc., and you're still getting the PMF. Now you may not be getting some of the other modes, that I'll talk about here, the EMS mode, the muscle stimulation. The red light should still go, not as much, it'll be diminished. But ideally, you want to use the RevitaLux on your skin. And if you do, it really works best with electrode conductive, which you get, these gels that come with it. All right. And while I'm on that, let me show you something here. I actually particularly like this. This is a spray electrode solution. So I actually prefer this when I'm using the RevitaLux, because instead of getting the gel out, and putting some on myself or on the ends of the thing, this you go right, and then you can just put your RevitaLux on something. This is called Sigma Spray on Amazon. I don't get any money off that, but you might check that out. But I really actually prefer that, because I'm impatient and I want to get going. I don't want to be having to put stuff all over myself and whatever. But the gels optimize the connectivity between the ends of the claw and your skin. Couple of, go back to my share real quick. I'm sure questions are coming up, but we'll get to them here in a minute. Couple cautions. You want to avoid the thyroid area of your neck. Okay. So you don't want to be clawing that necessarily. And you want to be careful about, you don't want to be clawing directly on your eyes and your testicles. And so I'm the first one to know, oh, you have to bring that up. But the reality is you want to be careful in that area because unless you don't care or your doctor says no problem, but the reality is that's a sensitive area that could be a problem for people, okay? So just as a caution, you want to avoid using the RevitaLux wand and as well as the Vitality wand on the thyroid area, your testicles, if you're a man, and directly on your eye. Then eyes, you can use the Vitality wand, but not on the cool setting. You want to use the cool setting, okay? And now, the big controversy comes up, which is, where's my stop sharing? Okay, whether you can use this while you have your feet on the P90 Plus, okay? Now, some of you don't know that there's a controversy, but there's one young woman distributor who's really making a big deal about that you shouldn't use this at the same time as you have your feet on the P90 Plus. She says you're creating a whole field and you should really just enjoy that. To use this at the same time will disrupt that field and diminish it and so forth. Okay, I'm just saying. She has a pretty good following out there. I absolutely flat out don't agree with her on that. I'm not just saying I'm right or not. I'm just saying my experience, and since I've been using this, I actually have enhanced experience using this at the same time as my feet are on there. I know that my friend Bricky Brandino has done hundreds of demonstrations of using this at the same time. And my view is this is a tune to the same kind of frequencies that the feet have. And it may diminish. Just not using anything and relaxing and letting is one protocol. Okay. But it's not the only protocol, because my experience is when you have your feet on the P90 Plus, from within, without, you're getting the PEMF effects and the terahertz and all that from within, without, to say some point that you have an issue with, right? When you use this, it focuses from outwardly, inwardly at the same time, okay, in a certain area. So it's enhanced. So maybe I'm not totally getting the whole thing, a whole holistic effect, but I'm getting a fantastic effect on a certain area that I'm targeting at the same time, because I'm getting benefits from within and without, and from outwardly within. Okay, and I'm pulsing in all the heat and the vibrations and the magnetic PMF and all the good stuff, right? Outwardly, inwardly, but you experiment. Now I've been for the last 8 months, 9 months, every day I'm doing this at the same time, and I've had wonderful results with that. And then, but many times I'll be watching TV and I won't have anything on, or my wife is using the Frostage next to me on herself, and it's become a problem because she's discovered how good these products are. So now we just had to order one for her whole P90 Plus. Good. You stop stealing mine. We say it's good for the family, but I'm very selfish when I'm using it, especially because I'm on the phone all day, right? Showing this to people. And I'm looking around. I said, where's my P90 Plus, right? And now all the clients that she has come to her office, everyone she's putting on the P90 Plus now. And they're loving it. And I even had to set her up her own account now. Because she's people calling her up and she goes, that's my customer. I said, oh, no problem. Okay, so let me go real quick. Now, all right, I'm going to show you something again. You need to be sitting down for this. This is gold, okay? What I'm about to show you now, using the RevitaLux. It's gold in my mind, but I think you'll agree with me. So as a very basic protocol, I would recommend, if you're sitting there watching TV or whatever, you do your hand for about a minute each, right? There are all these fantastic acupuncture and reflexology points. Now that's different. Reflexology was only popularized about 80 years ago. And traditional Chinese medicine goes back thousands of years. But some people like reflexology, and this is a chart, but if you could look up a traditional Chinese medicine chart, and it'd be very similar to this with the meridians and all that. I would definitely be doing, if you're daily using a P90 Plus and you got this hooked up, I would do your hands, both hands, and then bottom of both feet, okay? Because you're hitting fantastic and activating so many different meridians in your body with the energy from this. Now, that's good. This is the goal part, right? You can go to ChatGPT and you want to go back and screenshot this page because this is the phrase you want to enter into ChatGPT. Mr. ChatGPT. Now, by the way, this is the complementary wellness therapy inquiry, right? This does not cure anything. This does not fix any disease. This is complementary to what your doctor is telling you should do or anything else you're doing, okay? It's complementary to it. Doesn't replace it. Do it what you will, but I'm just saying it's not a medical device, but it's a fantastic complementary wellness therapy device, okay? Plug this into ChatGPT and say, based on traditional Chinese medicine, now you could substitute reflexology there instead of TCM, right? So for an example, I'm going to show you what comes up. Based on traditional Chinese medicine, which whole body points, and if you're using just reflexology, you want to put whole body points, because if you don't, it's just going to show you a picture of your feet, but you want the whole body on this, right? And should I focus my Holy Life RevitaLux wand or my Holy Life Vitality wand? Okay. This works just as good with the Vitality wand, and in many ways even better. I'm telling you, this is gold because you could put anything you want here. You want a 10-minute protocol, it'll give it to you. You want a 15-minute, 20-minute, it'll give you a protocol. And it'll tell you how long to spend focusing on each of the points and where they are and which order, okay? So you don't have to call Doug and me up all the time now. You can go to ChatGPT and look this stuff up. All right. And then what do you want? An energy support protocol? You want a sleep protocol, discomfort, digestion, weight loss? Oh yeah. Fantastic points. It'll give you a whole 20-minute program for weight loss where to focus your RevitaLux wand or your Vitality wand. Okay. Weight loss, stress, the sky's the limit to your imagination, what you would plug in here. I can't give you any more than this, but I'm just saying, use your imagination on this and experiment. And it's amazing what it'll give you. Now, ChatGPT will say right in the beginning, now you understand, John, that this is not, medical device and you should always listen to your doctor. But based on what you just asked, here's the points you would want to focus on, right? And then what do you get? Sometimes when it gets to know you, it'll actually give you a chart like this with pictures, or it'll just give you a whole sequence. Here's what to do. Here's the meridian point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then it'll say here, focus here for a minute or two. Here's what's happening right here. It says this supports this or that or whatever. This is a 10-minute one for energy. How about for lymphatic drainage? Okay. You want a 5-minute one, 10-minute one, plug it in, and it'll give you what to do here. Okay. You want one for sleep? I just realized that you could be doing this for the energy wand. I mean, the RevitaLux wand, right? This works fantastic with the Vitality wand. And I had 2 weeks ago, I had a congestion, and I was taking all the supplements my wife was telling me about, and this and that, but I was still very, very congested and coughing and whatever. And so I plugged this in. I said, based on traditional Chinese medicine, where should I focus my Vitality wand on to clear up this congestion, okay, and this coughing? Boom, it gave me the whole list. I did the list. The next day, it was all gone. Right? I was a very happy camper at that point. All right. So one last piece before we get into just a couple ideas on the Frostage beauty device. There's going to be a lot more coming out on this. I have a whole bunch of distributors that are putting together. They want to do presentations on this. They want to do 30-day challenges with all the women out there. And the testimonials are starting to come through, but nobody's really taken off with this. I know Trisha Costa did a great demonstration on this on YouTube. But there's a couple little tips I wanted to share here. The value of this. My wife has this gadget she bought years ago. All right. She bought it off eBay. It was listing for $5,000. All right. Put it on the face. All right. She just told me that the Frostage works better. That's why I said, well, go buy your own, man. You're gonna do this every night, because I want to use the RevitaLux while you want to use the Frostage, right? And in the future, they should have plugins for both of them. I don't know, but the tremendous value what this is. Most of our guys, they don't realize this is a tremendous value. What people spend money on, right? Or women, and when you're using this on your face, you want to use a gel, okay? Avoid the thyroid area, or you don't want to put these on your eyes. And alternatively, you can use the alternatively, you could use your wand, and you energize some water, put a little spray bottle, and you would spray a little bit on there, and then you would use the wand in the same directions that the Frostage is showing you for women. They go here, so the same thing you're doing here, but if you're using this, you can also do your hand, and then you push up with your hand. All right, you do this, all right, and there's a whole set of protocols for that, using the wand, spritz water, and then using the wand. Now, this one is one of the, again, reasons why this is number one is it has one of the features is this air massage feature. Okay, nobody knows what that means. It must be, oh, it feels good. The reality is this is a particularly of interest for face, because you put that on cool setting and you're doing here, and it's pushing your face up as you're doing it. Okay, spritz it and just using it, and then following that up. Anyway, I don't have time. That's literally a whole hour call just talking about how to do that. I know a lot of women are saying, "Oh, I want more information about that." So that's the deal. I see some people laying on the ground. Get up now.
John, that is fantastic, and I know you offered some additional nuggets with the Vitality one too, and we're going to have another session here in the short future. But how about it, right? You said people are going to be falling out of their chairs or falling over if they weren't sitting down. I think we're going to call you Professor John. Absolutely love it, man.
Thank you.
That is true. You know, such a wealth of knowledge. We do have a few questions that we'll go look at here in a moment. I did see something you referenced, the manuals, and encourage everyone to read the manuals. I believe Asher may already be on it, or they will be there soon. We're going to put them in the connection center, the connection hub there. Those manuals were offered electronically by Luigi earlier today, so we'll get those there. John,
Doug, I'm going to give me 2 minutes at the end of this call, and I'm going to show everybody where it is, okay?
Let's do it. Fantastic. All right. So let's look at a couple of questions here. And John, you may or may not have had a chance to look at it, but is it safe to assume the P90 also will have the same response with the Spangler energy stick? That was a question asked. I know we're looking at the P90 Plus. Do you happen to know? Did you have a? I don't know that.
I don't know. You know what's interesting about the P90 Plus is that I have 3 different foot devices under my floor. This is a what they call a Terahertz light from other company Price, all right? $1,450, okay? But it doesn't have the attachments, and it doesn't work. I own 2 of these, and as soon as I got my P90 Plus, oh my God, this is so different, because it has the alternating current. It does all this stuff, right? Why I'm bringing this up, though, is because it has to do with the activation. When you put your feet on here, does it turn on and this and that? And that's what I discovered by accident on the P90 Plus, is that I could turn it on and nothing was happening. But when I put it on, say, setting 3 or 4, my feet were still on there. Now, all of a sudden, it was that coming up. These other devices, it depends on how they activate and what, I don't know that. So somebody would have to get a P90. I don't know if it activates the same way with the feet. Yeah, I'm sure it's still putting out, it's the same technology in there. It's putting out PMF, but to demonstrate that the way I just did, it all depends on when it activates, of when you turn on the numbers, and does it, I don't know that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have enough P90 owners in our community there that are also going to purchase the energy stick. So please let us know in the chat. Hey, I got this. Let us know if that works. We saw the demonstration on how to do it, and we can do kind of a community group effort there.
Right.
So thank you for that. There's been a couple questions regarding precautions around the thyroid gland and so on. I'm going to encourage. We're not going to give medical advice as to why not. It is a precaution. If you want a little bit more answer to share with someone else, go ahead and research that as well. That's just something we're not. I say it respectfully, but that's not something we're going to be able to answer here or tell you why. That's not the role of these calls here. Okay.
I could answer that one question where she's asking the levels 1 to 3. What does that do? And all that, right?
Please.
And the device puts out PMF and terahertz. Okay, it's kind of like the frequencies, and the 1 to 20, those are intensity. Okay, so it's kind of like, I make the analogy to a radio on the car. You dial in a channel, right, and it's coming out of the station. The station's coming, but what you've dialed in is a frequency. It's coming out of your radio. Now, when you turn up the volume, you're turning up the intensity. It's not changing the frequency. It's just turning up the intensity of how loud it's coming out of the radio, or how strongly those frequencies are entering into your body. So yeah, it's the same. It's not like there are 20 different frequencies in there. It's just PM. If this is how strong it's amplifying it going into your body, and then so that's why we say start slow and low. And I know one of the other doctors was just talking the other day. She found that somebody who was at like level 5, 6, 7 wasn't having any experiences. When they dialed it down to 2, 3, all of a sudden they were having experiences with it, because some of the energy blockages in their body wouldn't allow the stronger intensity to get through. So you have to kind of experiment with this. But by and large, we always say start low and slow, and work up and see. Like I said, I'm from New York. I'm Italian. I like things fast, but I can't do more than 6. I'm a hefty guy. Right? I do 7, my ankles heat up and I back off, and I'm still having wonderful results with it. I'm thinking I should be a man. I should be up to 10 by now. Right? We're all different. But
all right. I do want to leave a few minutes for Asher here at the end there, but let's look at one more thing. John, you demonstrated how the field rises through the piece of wood. That was a pretty good visual there. We talked about the attachments, using a gel if we're using the EMS or the radio frequency, just to improve conductivity. There was a question about bare feet on the plates versus socks on the plate. It's going through wood. Any quick comments there? Again, not medical advice.
That's interesting, because this morning, once I saw that thing go through the wood, I couldn't sleep the last couple of days, right? Because I'm thinking all the possibilities, and then this call coming up. And so, but then I thought, wow, that's interesting, because I have this one woman, she's a naturopath, and she can't put her feet on the plates because she has a violent reaction to nickel in the stainless steel. She loves the products, but she just can't put her feet on there. And I was thinking, wow, if this maybe she doesn't have to put her feet directly on the plate. And I'm thinking, so this morning I put my feet on there in my shoes to see what would happen, and it didn't light this up. Now I haven't tried it with I have tried it with thin socks. Okay, because you don't want to trigger the alternating current. Or it just depends why she's asking. If somebody really doesn't want to put their feet on for some reason, that's one thing. But
possibly in a public, live event or something like that. Does everyone?
I know, but the device, that's its design, is when you put your bare feet on there, it triggers that current, and then all the wonderful things happen with that. It's just part of the design. And I've seen competitors go, oh, it's not real PEMF because you got to put your feet on there. And again, buddy, you're looking for horses. It's like, this is creating.
Yeah. And it was more of asking thoughts versus we're not going to give that solid answer there too. So I appreciate that, John. All right. Before we turn it over to Asher to go, any closing remarks, John? There have been a few questions about types of gels or serums to use on that. We have between yourself, John, and another guest we're going to have in the future. I think we'll have we've seen some great before and afters there. So I'm
not really the guy for that. I mean, I'm using this spray, and probably people go, oh, it's got gasoline in there. I don't know that. All I know is I spray it on there, it works. And I know there's wonderful products out there that have natural ingredients, and you want to go for that if possible. So I'll probably use up this, and I'll start then looking for more
natural. Good.
But it doesn't tell me what's exactly in there. All I know is it's really easy to just spray on there, put it in. But a lot of people like the gels that we get from Life, but then some are finding some wonderful products out there that work great and have great natural products, and some put together their own little formulas. Some use aloe. I'm not that particular guy. I'm more the tech.
No, that's not to put you on the spot there either. Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, Professor John, thank you so much. That was excellent as always.
It looks like Asher hurt himself. Did you fall out of your chair?
Yeah, he looks like he has a little hobble in his video.
Knocked his hat off or something. I don't know.
All right, Asher, there was a question about the manuals, electronic manuals there.
Awesome.
You might
Thanks,
have that
guys.
or something else.
What a fantastic call. Thank you both, Doug and John. It's always a pleasure. I know that everybody, without fail, always learns something new on these calls, and it's just, you're a real gift to the community, both of you. Thank you so much. I wanted to share my screen really quickly, guys. So people have been asking, hey, where can I get like a PDF copy of the manuals for the devices? Okay, so we recently asked corporate to send us this. What corporate sent us was kind of like, if you can imagine like a 28-page manual that's sort of like miniaturized down to like 1 or 2 pages. That's what they sent us, right? So what we've done is we've actually taken, I just want to show everybody where it is. If you're here in the Team Hub, in the Connection Center, okay, you're going to scroll down to the resource library. And where do you think you'll find it? Well, it's in product information, right? Because that's where we have all the product information for all of the different products. Okay, but what I've done is I've created a whole new tile, which is just right here, right at the top here, folks. So kind of like next to product prices. Before we get into the individual products, I've got one tile which is just for all of the individual product manuals, and we're going to click on that one. Beautiful. And what are we going to see there? Okay, so and there's a little disclaimer here, guys. I basically used an AI tool to basically scale up those very weirdly small images that Life Corporate gave us. Okay, so I do have a little disclaimer in here saying that we used AI tools to scale up the individual images, and really the best source is always the actual hard copy manuals that come with the devices. Okay, so bearing that in mind, check it out, guys. We've got the only thing I haven't got here yet is the P90. I'm literally just in the process of PDFing that one. But all you'd need to do there is come into here, click on P90 Plus manual, and boom, there it is. All right, and you can download that and use it to your greatest content. Okay, and same thing for all the other products. All right. Just thought I'd show that to everybody.
Well, how wonderful that too. We're at a live event. You need to pull it up. You can pull it up there. After that is tremendous. Thank you. And for folks who aren't aware, in 2 hours every Monday or Tuesday morning, depending on where you live, Azure hosts a getting started call. So it's items and examples like this that are demonstrated. So if you're newer to the community, or you have someone new that you want to invite, or you need a refresher, or you're seeing this community hub for the first time, that's a perfect call to get on there, to get on yourself, or to invite someone to. Also, as it relates to the practitioner call, so we have another call next week, which will be the 31st or the 1st, depending on where you live. And then the following week, we're going to take a day off, holiday here in the States, and then we'll get back on track after that. So stay tuned for the details on our next call there. Professor John, any closing remarks? Are we good to go? That was terrific, as always.
I got to get my wife to call me that, then I'll be good after that. But
I got you covered.
Thank you. No, I've really enjoyed sharing this with everybody, and I see all the comments here, and I appreciate that. So,
yeah, off the charts as always. Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone. John, thank you. Asher, thank you very much. And we'll see everyone on the next call. Take care now.
Bye, everybody.